While there are countless back exercises to choose from, they're not all created equal. Building a wider and thicker back doesn't require a multitude of angles, setups, or fancy gym equipment. In this video, I'll show you the only 3 back exercises you truly need for muscle growth. But first, let's quickly go over the anatomy of the back and its functions. This will help you better understand how to train the back most effectively. Your upper back, including the traps, rhomboids, and rear delts, is responsible for back thickness, giving you that yoked appearance. Together, these muscles work in scapular retraction, or pulling your shoulder blades back. Composed of the lats and teres muscles, the mid-back muscles are responsible for back width, giving you that V-taper. Together, they perform shoulder adduction, bringing your arms toward your body from the sides, and shoulder extension, pulling your arms down from in front of your body. And let's not forget the lower back muscles, mainly the spinal erectors, that add depth to the lower third of your back. Now that we've understood what muscles are involved and what functions they're responsible for, let's jump into the only 3 back exercises you need. Exercise number 1, Pendlay rows. First, we need a compound lift that allows us to train the entire upper back musculature with heavy loads. While most experts suggest the traditional barbell row, this exercise may prove problematic, especially as we age. For starters, as you get stronger, traditional barbell rows become harder to perform without the use of momentum. Ultimately, this can result in unnecessary stress on the lower back. The Pendlay row, on the other hand, is lower back friendly. Unlike its hanging counterpart, this row involves starting each repetition from a dead stop. This subtle adjustment eliminates the use of momentum and forces stricter form, leading to enhanced muscle engagement, cleaner reps, and reduced strain on the lower back. According to a study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research, the bent-over row produced large activation symmetrically from the upper to lower back. Given its similarities, it's safe to assume that the Pendlay row is excellent for targeting the entire back musculature. Not only that, but since the arms are in a higher degree of shoulder flexion, when performing a Pendlay row versus a traditional barbell row, it's likely there is a greater stimulus on the lats, whose main function is shoulder extension. To maximize gains in both upper back thickness and lat width, here are a few things to keep in mind. 1. Allow your scapula to both retract and protract throughout the movement. According to this study, the traps are trained best when you allow the scapula to move. Given the similar orientation and location of the other upper back muscles, we can presume they are also best trained this way. So when performing the Pendlay row, make sure to reach for the floor and accentuate the stretch. 2. Keep the bar in line with your chest and pull the bar toward your sternum or slightly lower. According to another study, the lats, when worked in the sagittal plane, had their best leverage when performing humeral extension from shoulder level and down. 3. Aim to get as much shoulder extension as you can, driving your elbows past your torso to maximize engagement of the lats and rear delts. Exercise number 2, chest-supported dumbbell rows. While the Pendlay row targets the entire back musculature, we'll use the chest-supported dumbbell row to focus more on the upper back. One study published in the Journal of Sports Health comparing row variations found that a high row, where the movement was done with the arms horizontally abducted to 90 degrees, showed the highest activation of the upper, middle, and lower traps. Thus, we'll perform these with the elbows flared out, as opposed to the more traditional elbows tucked variation. Rowing with your chest supported also helps you avoid placing too much stress on the spine. Not only that, but keeping your torso glued to the bench removes the ability to cheat or use momentum. This not only reduces the risk of injury, but involves less workload from stabilizer muscles, directing maximum tension to the upper back. If you want to make these even more effective, studies show that intentional retraction of the shoulder blades while you pull your arms back activates the traps and rhomboids to a greater degree. In other words, focus on retracting your shoulder blades and then finishing the movement with your arms, rather than simply pulling your arms back. Exercise number 3, Wide grip pull-downs or pull-ups. The main function of the lats is shoulder adduction and shoulder extension. Thus, anytime we're pulling a weight down from overhead, the lats become the primary target. That said, anytime we're pulling the weight toward our body, whether vertically or horizontally, we're engaging all other back muscles as well as the biceps and forearms. Looking at a study from Aklan et al., the leverage of the lats for shoulder adduction is highest around 50 degrees to 100 degrees of shoulder elevation. Thus, a wide grip ensures that throughout the entire range, you're pulling where the lats have their greatest leverage. And more leverage means better muscle activation, which leads to a greater hypertrophy stimulus. A study published in the Journal of Strength and Conditioning Research compared 4 pull-down variations: close grip, supinated grip, wide grip behind the body, and wide grip in front of the body. They found that the wide grip pull-down to the front of the body elicited the greatest activation of the lats. This is corroborated by findings from a 2019 study, which reported that using a wide grip produced the highest activation and contraction in the lats compared to 6 other different grip pull-ups. While both wide grip pull-downs and pull-ups target lat activation similarly, we tend to favor pull-downs for their ability to emphasize the lats more. Studies comparing the two movements have shown that pull-ups recruit additional muscles, such as the lower back, biceps, and core to a greater extent. In contrast, pull-downs offer a more focused approach to lat training without too much involvement of secondary muscles, making them ideal for maximizing lat-specific growth. So there you have it, the only 3 back exercises you need for muscle growth. Prioritizing these movements in your workout routine will not only build a thicker and wider back, but also keep your joints healthy and your training sustainable for years to come. If you find this video helpful, click the like button below as it'll truly help out the channel. See you soon.